Hello, welcome to the video. Today I'm looking at the Museum of Fine Arts in Houston, Texas. There's several buildings here, and this is called the Kinder Building. And they have an excellent gallery of Latin American art. There are many works of art here by Joaquin Garcia Torres. This one is more of a kind of a cubist take on it. And here's more of a three-dimensional. I like this symbols and organized by these rectangles, and I've always been attracted to this. It's kind of childlike in the symbols, but if you look for a while, you can see it is very sophisticated. Simple colors: blue, red, yellow, black, and white. It almost looks like a children's book, but at the same time, it's very sophisticated. So, and here's some metalwork. And they had some publications. Here's a funny suitcase with a abstract design, and I really like this portrait. It seems so simple, but it's kind of funny the way it's all constructed, and it's cartoonish yet it's original and fun to look at. Joaquin Torres Garcia lived in Uruguay in South America. And here's another Latin American artist, of course, Frida Kahlo. And I like these type of abstract design, geometrical design. Now when I look through the gallery, sometimes I identify stuff and sometimes I don't identify stuff. And here's a Jean Dubuffet sculpture. I like this. If I like it, I identify it, but sometimes I don't identify it, and I suggest if you want to know the names of pieces, you use an app called Google Lens, and you can put it on your phone and put it up to the screen, and it'll tell you what the work of art is. So move on to another gallery. Here's a more minimal art. Now, I dislike minimal art. It's okay to dislike art, but I look at it and I try to see something in it, but it doesn't really do much for me. And you know what? That's okay. This is not a classroom where you have to like everything. I think art is subjective, and I appreciate people who have opinions, and you should kind of be able to support your opinions. For me, it's just kind of cold. I don't like the hard lines. Now I moved into a photography gallery, and I really caught myself looking at this for quite some time. These clouds, they almost look like continents in a map. I guess there's probably some explanation. I'm not going to spend time on it, but I like this kind of a format on a wall, just a different change in a museum. And here's Ansel Adams with his zone system of black and whites. And here is a Brasse. Here's Muhammad Ali. The Great White Hope was a theater production. Here's a poet, Charles Baudelaire, and some other photography here. I think this is Diane Arbus. Here's some more historical photos. Here's a great female portraits. Here is some dead Civil War soldiers on the ground after a battle. This was a very interesting book here. That it's a book of photographs of businesses in San Francisco before the 1900s. And I lived in San Francisco, so I was very interested in this book. Would have loved to have been able to turn the pages. This is businesses on Market Street, guns and rifles, and a butcher shop. This is kind of a visual picture of racism in action, because here's these Indians and they've dressed them all in top hats. And that's kind of humiliating for an Indian. But, we hear about racism, but there it is, a visual representation of it. Now moving on to this communist pictures. Here's a famous photograph taken by Alberto Corda. And here's a cute picture of these children in a Volkswagen Beetle. Now moving on to a gallery with more contemporary art. Now this is by a Mexican artist, Margarita Cabrera, and it's based on the Árbol de la Vida, which is a tree of life kind of sculpture in Mexico. So she's done this for Tree of Life for a John Deere tractor. Highly detailed. And here's another highly detailed piece. This is by Yinka Shinabare, a British artist from Africa. And he almost looks like a peasant in this fantastic clothing, carrying his wares. He's a astronaut refugee, wandering through the gallery, wandering through the world. Here is a sculpture by Ron Mueck, and it kind of represents the state of affairs in our modern society, where here is a mother with her child, and she's shopping with her plastic bags, and shows the struggle of life and the struggle of motherhood. And it's kind of sad, but she's also a brave person. So thanks for watching.